we know Arsha Vidnya Vakya Nahi Ei Dosha Sabha. Chaitanya Charitamrita has described that Brahma Vipralipsa, to be illusioned, to have cheating mentality, to have imperfect senses, etc. These are all defects which are found in a conditioned soul. So therefore, I may have, because of being a conditioned soul, I may end up superimposing those defects in this presentation. But please, like white royal swans, keep away the water of my mistakes and happily, lovingly accept the milk, the essence of what the acharyas have presented. So I have a book here, which is the basis, so that I don't speak anything of my mind and my mind doesn't cheat me. So I want to thank all the devotees for joining, and I hope and pray that you will all take a minute to close your eyes and offer prayers, so that the right words come in the right time, the right spirit, so that I can offer some service for the pleasure of Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. May this bring in satisfaction to your ears, and as a servant speaker, let it cleanse my consciousness. Prabodhananda Saraswati, a very dear associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Prabodhananda Saraswati is the brother of Venkata Bhatt, and Venkata Bhatt is the father of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So we see the uncle of Gopal Bhatta Goswami is Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad. Prabodhananda Saraswati has glorified Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very beautifully in a book called Chaitanya Chandramrita. Just like we know Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Bengali, there is a book called Chaitanya Chandramrita in Sanskrit, written by Prabodhananda Saraswati. And there Prabodhananda Saraswati glorifies Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Prema Namad Bhutartha Shravana Pathagatha Kasya Namno Mahimno Koveta Kasya Vrinda Vanavipina Maha Madhurishu Praveshaha Kova Janati Radham Paramarasa Chamatkara Madhurya Simam Ekas Chaitanya Chandra Parama Karunaya Sarvam Avishchakaraha. So what does this verse mean? Prema Nama Adbhutartha Shravana Pathagata Kasya Namno Mahimno Koveta Kasya Vrinda Vanavipina Maha Madhurishu Pravesha. Three things have been mentioned by Prabodhananda Saraswati. I request all the devotees, I hold the feet of all the devotees who are listening with this begging appeal that please lovingly, attentively listen to these words of Prabodhananda Saraswati. They will bring in a beam of soothing moonlight in the dark heart of the conditioned soul. Prabodhananda Saraswati has raised 3 points. The first point he names is Ko Veta Kasya Vrinda Vanavipina Maha Madhurishu Pravesha. He said, what to speak of entering the pastimes of Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan? Even the word Vrindavan had not entered anybody's ears. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, Vrindavan was practically covered. No one knew where Vrindavan was. Radhakund and Shamkund were considered to be some fields where the farmers were cultivating rice. It was a swampy rice field. You know, other places, paddy fields. You had so many different fields in Vrindavan. And they were called as Gori Khet, the fair complexioned field, and Kari Khet, the dark complexioned field. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there walking down doing Nam Sankirtan, he had ecstatic symptoms. Hair stood on end and tears streamed from his eyes, and he was trembling in happiness. His teeth were chattering, his complexion it changed, and he fell unconscious. Why? Because the pastimes of that place were appearing in the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Mahaprabhu would chant the holy name, the pastimes of the specific places in Vrindavan, they were all getting revealed in the heart. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would walk to those places and say, where is this? Where is this? You are considering this to be some ordinary rice field, but this is the Gauri Khet, the fair complexion field is actually the bathing pond. It is the Kund of Srimati Radharani. And Kari Khet, this dark complexion field that you consider is actually the bathing place of Krishna, Shyamakund. So Radha Kund and Shama Kund were discovered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Not just that, Mahaprabhu went around in the form of 6 Goswamis and discovered different pastime places in Vrindavan. So now the places that we know Madhuvan, we know Mahavan, we know Talvan, we know Kumudvan, we know Khadirvan, we know Bhandirvan, we know Bailvan, we know Tapovan, we know Lohavan, we know Vrindavan. All these forests that we know, the 12 forests, Dwadasha Kanana, the 12 forests of Vrindavan, oh, they are all the gift of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. No one knew about them. No one had even heard the names Vrindavan, Lohavan, Madhuvan, Bhandiravan, the names of these forests. But it was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who not just discovered these places, but gave a process of spontaneous devotion by which people can actually enter the pastimes of Radha and Krishna in those places. This is the first point. Second point. Kova janati radham paramarasa chamatkaram adhurya simam. What to speak of the level of Radharani's prem? It is described Shri Radha Bhave Rebe Gaura Avatar Hare Krishna Nama Gaura Korela Prachar Vasudeva Ghosh Bole Kori Joda Hath Jai Gaur Se Krishna Se Jagannath Jai Jai Jagannath Sachiranandan Tribhuvane Kori Jar Charana Bandhan. It has been described Shri Radhar Bhave Eve Gaura Avatar. Radharani's bhav has been held by Sachinandan Gaurahari. And not just holding the bhav of Radharani, he is giving this prem of Radharani, of the level of Radharani's prem to everyone. It has been described. Jadi Gauranga na hoito, tabe ki hoito, kemone dhari tamve, Radhar mahima, prema rasa sima, jagata janato ke. Jadi Gauranga na hoito, tabe ki hoito, kemone dhari tamve. The acharyas have discussed that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spread the glories of Srimati Radharani. But not just the glories of Srimati Radharani. He gave us the process by which you can enter that prem of Radharani. The level of Radharani's prem is very high. At the level of prem, Krishna prem, there are 9 stages. Just like we know, the process to get to Krishna prem has 9 stages. Shraddha, have faith. Sadhu Sangha, associate with devotees. Bhajan Kriya, worship Sri Hari. Anartha Nivritti, the heart gets substantially cleansed. Nishtha, one becomes very fixed. Ruchi, one develops taste. Asakti, one gets attached to Krishna. Bhav, one has spiritual emotions. And Prem, where one has ecstatic love. But now once we enter Prem, there is Sneha, Man, Pranay, Rag, Anurag, Bhav, Mahabhav. And in Bhav, there's Madanake, there's Mohanake Mahabhav, Modanake Mahabhav, Madanake Mahabhav. So that the level of Radharani's prem is the 9th level in the strata of prem, which that prem in itself is 9 steps from where we are at wobbling faith. So Radharani's prem is that lofty. So what to speak of attaining that prem? Even the words Radha had not entered anybody's ears. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he spread the glories. Just like he spread the glories of Vrindavan. He discovered Vrindavan, spread the glories of Vrindavan, and pulled everyone into the pastimes of Vrindavan by force. Like a mother gives a strong dosage of medicine and cures the child from all illness, even if the child is not interested. Similarly, Mahaprabhu discovered Vrindavan, spread the glories of Vrindavan, and gave entrance into Vrindavan for everyone. Similarly, Sriman Mahaprabhu, he took the heart of Srimati Radhika. He took the complexion of Srimati Radhika. He spread the glories of Srimati Radhika and then took everyone into that prem of the level of Srimati Radharani in a generation where people had not even heard the syllables Radha. This is the second thing. Now, third and the most interesting. How did he give all this? How did he do all this? Only one way. Prema namad bhutartha shravana patagata kasya namno mahimno. What to speak of attaining that prem? Even the words Krishna, Prema had not entered anybody's ears. In Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kali Yuga, people were just happy with mukti, with liberation from all problems. But Sriman Mahaprabhu, Sachinandan Gaurahari, He gave this process of attaining prem by Shravana Pathagata, Prema Nam Adbhutartha, by chanting the holy name. So simple. Just by chanting the holy name, sincerely chanting the holy name every day, quality and quantity, very high quality and very high quantity. By chanting, when the lips move with the tongue, there is friction created in the heart. The friction of fire of separation from Krishna, automatically, by chanting Harinam. When the lips are moving with the tongue, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. By the movement, just like we rub stones, there's fire by the friction. Similarly, by moving the lips and the tongue, there is fire of separation caused in the heart, love for Krishna. So Mahaprabhu discovered Vrindavan, pulled everyone into the pastimes of Vrindavan. He spread the glories of Radharani, pulled everyone into the pastimes of Radharani. But he did this, giving praying to everyone by the simple process of chanting Harina. Therefore, Prabodhananda Saraswati says, Ekas Chaitanya Chandra. There's only one Shachinandan Gaurahari, no one else. Parama Karunaya Sarvamavischakara. He opened up all these boxes of treasure out of supreme mercy. So there's only one Chaitanya Chandra. So the true way, the proper way, and the most accurate way of worshipping Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is by valuing his gift of Harinam. By chanting Harinam, we value Shachinandan Gaurahari the most. How do we know that? Well, Bhagavatam says, Krishna Varanam Tvisha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parashadam Yajnai Sankirtanai Prayai Yajanti Hisumedisa. Now, the word Prayai means mainly. Yajnai Sankirtanai Prayai. So there are many ways to worship him. You can worship him through the deity form. You can worship him by chanting prayers. You can do so many things too. You can cook for him and make garlands for him. This is all worship of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this is all prominent, proper worship of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But the word Prayai means predominantly, mainly, with focus on Yajnai Sankirtanai Praya, chanting the holy name. And those who do that, Sumedasa, they are very, very intelligent. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went through so many motions in his Prakat Leela, in his manifest pastimes, and then gave us this essence of the Shastra. He churned the Shastra to give us this essence. Sriman Mahaprabhu appeared. He first did Tark, Vitark. He did all the arguments. He argued on Nyay, which is logic. He argued on Vyakarana, which is grammar. And he defeated all the Digvijay Pandits, all the scholars who had won over all directions. Sriman Mahaprabhu debated with them and he defeated all of them. So he did that in the first portion of his life. Then after that, when he went to Gaya to perform the last rites for his departed father, he met with his most worshipable Gurudev. Paramaradhyatama Gurupada Padma Om Vishnupad Ashtotarashata Sri Srimad Srila Ishwarapuri Maharaj. Ishwarapuri Goswami gave him shelter, Sriman Mahaprabhu, and gave him the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and also gave him the Gopal Mantra. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted these mantras and he went mad. He went ecstatic. He came to his Gurudev and said, Kiba mantra dila goshai, kiba tarabal, jopite mantra korila pagal. Oh, what mantra have you given me, O Gurudev? When I'm chanting these names, I'm chanting Gopal mantra, I'm chanting Harinam, I'm going mad. I'm going mad. Hair is standing on end. Tears are coming. I'm not able to stop. My body is trembling and I am seeing Krishna in all directions, but he's disappearing even. What is happening to me? Ishwara Puripad, the Gurudev of Sriman Mahaprabhu said, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, ei to swabhav, Jai Krishna mantra jape, upajaye bhav. Oh, this is the nature of this mantra. Those who chant this mantra continuously, what will happen? They will come to the stage of bhav. Automatically, spiritual emotions will erupt like a volcano from their body. So therefore, this is very good. I am very fortunate to have a disciple like you who is realizing so much. Please continue chanting. So Sriman Mahaprabhu, after all the Shastrartha Chintanam, after meditating on all the purports of all the Shastra, by debating on them through Tarka Vitarka, by going back and forth with debate, then he surrendered to his Gurudev, chanted mantras, Harinam and Gopal Mantra, and realized so much. And then he continued doing Harinam Sankirtan in Navadvip as Navadvip Chandra. He started chanting on the streets, and at night he would have all night long kirtans with Srivas Thakur. If Mahaprabhu had a number that he had to just meet, oh, I'm just going to chant 16 rounds, then why would he chant all day and night? All through in Shastra, the word used is Satatam. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrataha namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. In the Gita, it is said, Satatam kirtayanto mam. You should chant constantly, which means when we can chant in kirtan loudly, we chant. But then even when we are not doing kirtan, we chant japa. Even when we have finished our rounds, we still chant. You see, this is why we have 16 beads here. See, 4, and then we have 4, and then we have 4, and then we have 4. So 4 sets of 16. But that's not how the beads are. The beads are 20 beads. So here you have 4 more beads here. You see, to the side. So we have 16 here and we have 4 here, which means we chant all these 16 and we pull 1 down, 116, and then 216, and then 316, and then 416. Sometimes we tie all 20 together and we think, oh, that is supposed to, so that I should chant 20 rounds. But it's actually so that there's 16 and then there's 4. So there's 4 set of 16, so that at least in japa we can chant 64. And when we cannot chant japa, like for example, when we are in a meeting or when we are in the restroom, we are in the shower, we can at least chant. We can move our lips and tongue. But in places where people are very close to us and we can't even move our lips because it'll look very weird and odd, people will think, what are you doing? We seal our lips, but inside the tongue is moving. One time, Srila Prabhupada, in his temple, one South Indian gentleman came and he took darshan, but there was no bell, a typical South Indian bell. So Prabhupada said, so how did you like the temple? And the person said, everything is nice, but there's no bell, a typical South Indian bell. Prabhupada said, in your South Indian temples, you have one bell. In our temples, we have so many bells. He said, where? I can't see any. Prabhupada said, it's all in the mouth, the tongue, and it is moving. So the mouth and the tongue, they are actually the ringing bells, constantly chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Srimad Mahaprabhu, he did kirtan all day and night to show us, Satatam kirtayanto ma, kirtaniya sadahari, nityam bhagavata sevaya, ananyaschintayanto mam. Ananya means continuously, constant. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu, constantly. All the time, Shastra says, Satatam, Sarvada, Sada, Nityam, Ananya, Sarvakaleshu, which means constantly. We should never give up chanting the holy name at all times. Either we are chanting softly with our lips and tongue, or the lips are closed and the tongue is moving at places where you cannot chant. Places where we can, we chant with our throat. And then in Kirtan, we chant and dance also. So we are constantly using different ways to chant. Sometimes you can use your finger, and you have your index finger and your thumb finger. And in places where you cannot chant, you can write the name of Krishna or Hari or Govinda or Radha or Ram in your local language. You can use this as a slate and you can use this as a chalk, and then you can write the name here. So like, for example, you're in a meeting and you cannot chant, but your finger is here and you can keep moving in such a way that you're writing the name. You're constantly writing the name. So in this way, even in all circumstances, in all situations, your fingers are moving and we can chant. There's one very senior devotee who has practiced this for many, many years. He was telling me that in all times we can remember Krishna's holy name. Especially during this lockdown situation, we can chant more. So that when it opens up and our Bhakti Vriksha start and all our programs start, we can, with so much empowerment, we can give them what we have gained from Harinam. Otherwise, we may be speaking with our tongue. We may be giving instruction, but without demonstration, it will not have effect. One senior devotee was mentioning to me that when he was chanting very less number, he was saying, but not many hearts were getting transformed. When he increased, he doubled his chanting. The same previous notes that he was using, the same notes he was using, even now. But now more people are coming in the Bhakti Vriksha and the number of devotees were just doubling. Why? It's the same notes, it's the same thing, but now it's piercing the heart because Harinam is giving empowerment. So Srimad Mahaprabhu, after all the debate, he surrendered to Ishwarapuri, he took Nam and he chanted all day and night. And later after that, he took sannyas. he had so many discussions with Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, even with our Ramananda Rai. And then later, when he went to Jagannath Puri, his intense kirtans just continued with so much ecstatic symptoms. And finally, in the Gambhira, in the last chapter of the Antilila, with Swarup Damodara and Rai Ramananda, Sriman Mahaprabhu, who is non-different from Radha Krishna, is revealing his heart to Lalita and Vishakha. Only 8 verses in this world, and they are called as the Shikshashtakam. And interestingly, all 8 verses describe Harinam. So therefore, this Ekas Chaitanya Chandra, Sriman Mahaprabhu, who has given the process of getting Vrindavan Prem, Krishna Prem, the service of Radha and Krishna, the simplest way to worship him is by chanting Harinam. And this Harinam Sankirtan is the conclusion of all the Shastras. We see Bhagavad Gita concludes with Manmana Bhavamad Bhaktau Madhyajiman Namaskuru Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Braja. Give up all confusion and surrender to the process of devotion. But Bhagavatam takes this and concludes with Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam, that the essence of bhakti is to chant the holy name. There should not be a single moment when we are not chanting. We should try to chant maximum as much as possible. Then we will see our deity worship also becomes glorious. Our preaching also becomes glorious. Our cooking also becomes glorious. Our garland making also becomes glorious. Even our management becomes very glorious and protected. If we don't chant the holy name, we are cooking, but the mind is going here, there, everywhere. Oh, what does my husband like to eat? What do my children like to eat? In the congregation, what do generally people like to eat? All of this we are thinking and we are cooking. But if we are chanting the holy name, thinking that I'm serving Sriman Mahaprabhu, then we are cooking. Then everyone will be permanently, transcendently infected with Krishna Prem, Krishna Bhakti. Even when we have to take some tough management decisions. If we increase our chanting, we will not be touched by any political twist. We can take the right decisions at the right time if our chanting is proper. Prabhupada said, meetings means resolutions, dissolutions, revolutions, and finally no solutions. He said, by chanting the holy name, all meetings can be done properly. Even our preaching. If we are saying in all our classes, therefore we must chant the holy name and Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. But we ourselves are not prioritizing. What will happen? Devotees who are listening to us, they will put tilak and kantimala and become devotees, but they will not go an inch ahead of as much as we are. If we are at the level on 5 on 10, they will maximum come to 5 on 10. They cannot make any more advancement. We can do good to them by increasing our personal bar. So those who follow our example, they can come up to that point. In this way, we can do good to others by doing good to ourselves. Charity begins at home. Bharata bhumite haila manusha janma jar janma sarthaka kari. By increasing our chanting, we can do so much good. Even little things that we will speak, it will have effect. One devotee was telling me out of his practice that by chanting the holy name, he lives in a place where there is no temple and very difficult to preach. So there, he said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got here and my Gurudev told me I have to preach. I don't know what to do. So he initially just was chanting and he was making effort. But he was chanting, he could do more, but he was telling me personally that he was being a little lazy and chanting less. So although he was putting effort, not much effect. So then he started becoming very serious and he was practicing very sincerely. And even with work and family and 2 kids, he was chanting 25 rounds every day, 32 rounds every day. And then he said, devotees started coming as if there was a sale. One after another, he's calling his neighbor, he's calling his neighbor, he's calling his colleague, and they're coming. And so much taste, and they're having so much conviction. Because we can give when we have. We cannot fake. I mean, of course, we can fake that we have it, but then what they will receive will also be fake. They will not receive real when we ourselves are having fake. When we have real, we can give real. We cannot give them something that we don't have. Therefore, the secret of doing good to others is secretly doing good to oneself. Sriman Mahaprabhu, through all his pastimes, through all the motions that he went through, finally at the Gambhira cave, the Shikshashtakam, which only speaks about Harinam, Harir Nama, Harir Nama, Harir Nama iva kevalam, kalau nastyeva, nastyeva, nastyeva gatiranyatha. We oftentimes make this point that now we are young, so we have so many services that we can offer. When we get old, Imagine when we are like 70 years old, 75 years old. We cannot carry heavy books on the street and do book distribution. Impossible. Of course, I think in Balram Desh you anyway cannot do, or maybe in Sharjah you cannot do. In America you can, but still at the age of 75 to carry books and to do distribution is difficult. At the age of 75 to stand and cook for 200 people is still difficult. The back hurts. At the age of 75 to put the thread through the eye of a needle and make a flower garland and offer it to Krishna, oh, that is also difficult. At the age of 75 to stand and do arati for 25 minutes, blow a conch shell and hold the chamar and go with the numbers, the arm hurts. That is also difficult. At the age of 75 to do tamalshas kirtan on the mridanga and to chant loudly and dance, very difficult, no energy. At the age of 75 to sit on the Vyasasana and speak for 2-3 hours on the Bhagavatam, difficult, because we will not remember many things. We will not remember verses. We will not remember the connection in the stories. We will not remember why I said this. What was the point I was coming to? So all the services practically that we are doing now, we will feel very sad that we will not be able to perform when we get old. But there is only one service we can perform when we are completely old, even if all our senses go weak. And that is to sit in one corner and chant the holy name. Imagine if we have no taste in chanting japa, then we'll be miserable, because all the services that we're doing now will be taken away with time. We'll be replaced by those who are better than us in that service. Now when we are young, we have energy, we have ability, we are able to serve. Sriman Mahaprabhu is taking our service. But when we get old, if we have no taste to chant japa, then to sit in one place and chant, we will find it very, very difficult. But now if we invest time in our bead bag, before old age comes, if we get Nam Ruchi, the taste in chanting the holy name, then we have no problem. We can sit in one corner of the room and we can chant all day. What problem will anybody have with us? They will say, oh, no problem. Prabhuji is busy chanting. Prabhu is sadhu. Don't disturb him. Even domestic problems can be, avoided by chanting the holy name. When people get old, the possessiveness over the son becomes so much that then they are asking the son even after marriage, what has your wife cooked for you? Oh, you're eating only so much. Before marriage, I was cooking so much for you, but now, poor guy, you're not eating enough. Wife is not cooking properly. So the possessiveness over the son, and then involvement, and then there is rift between the daughter-in-law and the mother-in-law, or the father-in-law, or the daughter-in-law, because our affection is there. They have moved on in phases in life, but because of our affection, we go in. We are, doing our duty. But what is happening? It is not being appreciated from both sides. So now our tendency to talk is there, but because we have not developed taste in chanting the holy name, we are talking other things. And naturally, we will get the bad name. Oh, this person is involving too much. If the mother-in-law helps in the kitchen, then the daughter-in-law will feel that, oh, this lady, she doesn't give me the kitchen. She is so nosy. She wants to share the kitchen with me. And when the mother-in-law says, no, you cook, no problem. Oh, look at her. She doesn't want to do anything. I have to only cook and she will just sit and eat. So either way, it's a problem. This is the nature of this world. When we get old, nobody wants us. Our own people will throw us as if we are junk in a old age home. This is the reality of this world. We better wake up. This is how it is. But in old age, if our desire to constantly speak and constantly move our lips is used in chanting Harinam, oh, what trouble will anyone have? They will say, oh, he doesn't do any work at home, but at least he doesn't criticize anybody. He's a sadhu. He sits in one corner and he chants all day. Very nice. What is the problem? What is the problem? Even materially, we have so much, we can save so much problem. So this focus must be there. Apart from Harinam, I have no one. This we must be convinced. Now during the lockdown situation, just imagine, just a simple example. There are so many people here in America, okay, and their families are back in India. So many, including myself. Now imagine if our parents get a heart attack in India, or I get a heart attack here, or COVID-19, or whatever it may be, and there's something happening here. Have an accident, we just step out and we have an accident or something like that. If either the people in America or their family in India, they are in need of emergency because of this global lockdown, no one can cross over and take a flight and come here and help. What to speak of across internationally? Even people in the same state are not allowed to open their doors and go and meet. What is happening? If death comes now, I will die alone. If my parents have a problem, they will leave their body there. I cannot go there. Maximum, I can call on the phone and say, oh, I'm feeling very sorry. This is happening. I wish I could help. I will pray for you. May Krishna help you. That's all. There's nothing else we can do. So it shows us, this lockdown situation has showed, with so much technological advancement, with so much pride that we have made so much advancement, so much technological progress. It just takes one little insignificant virus in this material world to put everyone to a standstill. This has never happened. This happens once in 100 years. There was a pandemic in 1820. There was a pandemic in 1920. There's a pandemic in 2020. It happens once in 100 years. And you see, half the year practically has gone. Airline companies are filing for bankruptcy. There are big multinational heads who have got heart attacks. Suicide rates have risen in Germany because people don't know what to do sitting at home. You see, it's just frustrating. People, they are going into losses. People, daily wage workers, they have nothing to eat. One lady from a poverty-stricken family who depends on daily wages, because of this lockdown, her salary is done. Kids are crying, no food. So I was reading this article that she is taking stones from the floor and putting it into the vessel with water and acting as if she's cooking, because the kids are asking, when are we going to get food? So at least to delay them for an hour or two, she's acting that, oh, I'm making something. This is the situation in this world. Now we are thinking that, oh, I am so great. I have won over everything. Ahani ahani bhutani gachanti yama mandiram sheshaha sthavaram icchanti kimascharya matha param. It will happen to everyone except me. This feeling we have, but we never know. We really don't know. 2 days ago, we see 2 Bollywood celebrities back to back. They finished, gone. Where is their glory now? For those who felt there was glory, there was fame and all this accolade and awards and medals and recognition and Bollywood Filmfare recognition. It's all gone to pieces. Their house, their money, their celebrity status, all gone to pieces. We will be finished like this. We don't know next life in which body we will be pushed. We don't know. It's possible we may be pushed into some chicken body and we will be at McDonald's. Who knows? We never know. Bharat Maharaj at the level of bhav had to become a deer. Who are we? Therefore, it is a state of urgency. Dear Matajis and Prabhujis, we are actually living with the sword of death hanging over our head. It can fall at any time. So many cases of cancer, never heard before. People in their 20s and 30s and 40s are having cancer. Some are having blood cancer, some are having this cancer, that cancer, brain is affected and bone marrow is affected, and so many types of cancers, and people are struggling with so much radiations we are having through so many gadgets and so many different kinds of pharmaceutical pills that we are having. They are creating side effects. We are living in a very, very helpless situation, dear Prabhus. So now is the time that we have no one except Krishna now. If we are able to somehow remember the holy name at the time of death, then there is nothing to worry. We will get Krishna. Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj says, we are not afraid of death because we have gone through death so many times. We have gone through death so many times in so many bodies. But what we are really afraid of, is forgetting the holy name at the time of death one more time. Because if we forget the holy name at the time of death, again we have to take another birth. Again, we have to start from scratch. We can definitely say, Mama Janmani Janmani Ishware, but very few are at that level. Most of us are saying these prayers, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, but Sriman Mahaprabhu is laughing literally because the heart is saying dhanam, janam, sundarim, but the lips are saying na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. So therefore, we can realize everything. We can, the heart will get completely cleansed. We will get the lotus feet of Krishna. We will get liberated from all problems. We will realize the purports of all the Shastra. All transcendental knowledge will live here in our throat by being completely firmly fixed in our heart. We will develop tolerance. We will develop humility. We will be able to love everyone selflessly if we take shelter of Harinam. This is the arrow of Sri Ramachandra. It is a Ramband which will solve all our problems. This faith we must have. We feel Harinam is one out of many services. Harinam is one out of many limbs of bhakti. Actually, the Shastra completely disagrees to this fact. Rupa Goswami has given 64 limbs of bhakti, 64 different items of bhakti. But then he said these 64 are difficult to perform. Therefore, we boil them down to 5 main bhakti, limbs of bhakti. Associating with the devotees, studying the Srimad Bhagavatam, living in the dham, worshipping the deity, and chanting the holy name. But our Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he said these 5 are also difficult to perform in Kali Yuga. Therefore, that Pancha Anga must become Eka Anga, one. And he said, Harinam Sankirtan. If you chant the holy name, then living in the dham makes sense. If you're not chanting the holy name, what is the point in living in the dham? If you're going to live in the dham and think about Mumbai. We remember many years ago when we went to Radhakund, one devotee was taking us to Radhakund. And there on the banks of Radhakund was a bangle seller, a Mataji from Radhakund, who was selling bangles. So, so that devotee told that when we are from Mumbai in India, so that devotee told the bangle seller Mataji, oh, do you know where they have come from? And she was selling bangles in Radhakund. And she said, I don't know. So he said, Mumbai. And she immediately put her bangles down and she stood up and she said, Shah Rukh Khan, Amitabh Bachchan, oh, Mumbai. And we were holding our hand to our head thinking, those who live in Mumbai, they want to go to Radhakund. And those who live in Radhakund, they aspire to come to Mumbai. So if we don't chant the holy name, we can live in the dham, but be desirous to leave the dham. If we don't chant the holy name, we can worship the deity, but there is no bhav. No bhav. Completely no bhav. We can offer Gandha Pushpa Dhupdeep Naivedya Swagatam, Swagatam, Suswagatam, but without Harinam, no sambandha with the deity. Without Harinam, what Bhagavatam can we understand? We can know the letters on the page. We can know the story, information, but no transformation. No. That realization of knowledge in the head to experience in the heart will come only by Harinam. Only by chanting Harinam, continuously chanting the holy name. Just as an experiment we can try. Just chant for 1 month. This lockdown will go on at least for 1 month. At least this 1 month being at home where we cannot perform any service. You see, once the lockdown eases, we will have our preaching, Bhakti Vriksha preaching. We will have other services. We have to go to work and travel back and forth. It may get a little difficult. But now when all of us are at home, we have no other work apart from working from home and working for home. Working from home and working for home. These are the 2 things. So why not now, just as an experiment, for 1 month, increase our chanting? Those who are doing 16 can try 32. Those who are doing 32 can do 48. And others, everyone can try for 64. 1 month. You can give it up later. There is no loss. Just 1 month we can try. What is the problem? Every single day we can try. I bet on the power of the glories of Harinam that if 1 month we are able to chant 64, this holy name will catch our heart. We will not be able to finish. We will not be able to reduce even after it eases out. Even after the lockdown eases out, we will say, nah, my heart is breaking to reduce my chanting. Even while traveling, we will take our counter. His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj, as he's always chanting. Sometimes you can hear the click even in the sleep also. Mahavara Prabhu was explaining, even in sleep sometimes, clicking. Bhakti Vidya Purna Maharaj from Mayapur. He's chanting so much that even during the class, he's giving Bhagavatam class. And in his hand, he's having clicker. Which means when he's speaking Harikatha, and sometimes there are breaks, he's clicking. You can hear the clicking sound. And during question and answer, people are asking questions and he's clicking. There are so many instances, so many great souls like that in ISKCON. Bhakti Vigyan Goswami, very great devotee and GBC and sannyasi in Russia. Maharaj is chanting more than 64 rounds every day. So amazing, so beautiful. I heard Srila Jayapataka Maharaj during the double transplant, the liver and kidney transplant. There were many days that Srila Jayapataka Maharaj was not able to complete 16 rounds because of the health condition. But there was a note of all those rounds, and about 900 rounds were deficit, were to be finished. And when Srila Jayapataka Maharaj came, he was nursed back to health. He asked, how many rounds left? So 900 rounds. Srila Jayapataka Maharaj finished that 900 and extra 500. He told that, oh, Srila Prabhupada told me to do 16 every day. Whatever may be the case, even if health problem, no problem. 900, Jayapataka Maharaj finished, and plus 500 to go more than the number. So many such examples. His Holiness Indradumna Maharaj asked His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, Maharaj, we see so many disciples of Prabhupada, we carry deities when we travel. Maharaj, we have never seen you carry deities. Why? Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj said, actually, I am a very insignificant soul of Kali Yuga. None of the limbs of bhakti from previous ages will work on me because I am very fallen. Maharaj is speaking in humility, of course. Maharaj said, I belong to Kali Yuga. None of the processes of previous yugas will work on me. My deities, therefore, are in my bead bag. These are my deities. His Holiness Indradevna Maharaj in the class said it was an eye-opening point that how there are devotees who are completely surrendered to Harinam. Apart from Harinam, I have no friend. Please listen to this, dear devotees. Na nama sadrisham jnanam, na nama sadrisham vratam, na nama sadrisham dhyanam, na nama sadrisham phalam, na nama sadrishas tyago, na nama sadrisha shamaha, na nama sadrisham punyam, na nama sadrishi gatihi, namaiva parama mukti, namaiva parama gati, namaiva parama shanti, namaiva parama stitihi, namaiva parama bhakti, namaiva parama matihi, namaiva parama priti, namaiva parama smriti, namaiva karanam jantoho, namaiva prabhurevacha, namaiva paramaradhyo, namaiva paramo guru. Adi Puran spoken by Krishna to Arjuna. Na nama sadrisham jnanam. There is no knowledge like chanting the holy name. Na nama sadrisham vratam. There is no vow as much as chanting the holy name. If we want to take some vrat, it's not that I will eat once a day, I will walk backwards, I will do this, I will do that. The greatest vrat is chanting the holy name. Just by increasing the number, this is great vrat. Na nama sadrisham dhyanam. There is no meditation like the holy name. See, when we had to chant 50, 60, 70 rounds a day, we are constantly thinking. We cannot waste time because we are constantly thinking, I finished only 38 rounds, or I have another 30 rounds to go. Oh, I have finished only 40 rounds, I have another 30 rounds to go. I have no time. So dhyana means what? Meditation. You're constantly thinking about how can I finish my quota? How can I chant? And thinking of Harinam is thinking of Krishna. We cannot think of the pastimes, the eightfold pastimes of Radha and Krishna, but by thinking this anxiety of how I can finish Harinam, how I can finish my quota. Oh, this is wonderful. This is the greatest vrat. This is the greatest dhyana. Instead of having material anxiety, it's better to take spiritual anxiety. That, oh, how I can finish Harinam, how I can finish chanting the holy name. See, in this world, when we say, oh, do you know that person who's very tall and he has, he wears striped shirts most of the time and he wears spectacles and he has fair skin. If you say like this, it's very difficult to say whom we are talking about. But as soon as we say Suresh Prabhu, we just mentioned Suresh Prabhu. Everyone says, oh, Suresh Prabhu, I know him. And as soon as you say Suresh Prabhu, the form of Suresh Prabhu has come in our mind. His voice, how he walks, how he talks, how his qualities are, how he preaches, or where he works, who is his family, everything comes in our heart just by saying Suresh Prabhu. If we had to describe all of this without the name Suresh Prabhu, it's very difficult to guess. But by saying Suresh Prabhu, the name is able to catch the form, qualities, the attributes of the person, even in this material world. Then what to speak of Harinam? What to speak of Krishna now? By saying Krishna, Krishna's form, Krishna's attributes, Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's associates, Krishna's dham, everything will get revealed. It's only a matter of time. We simply have to put it to practice for 6 months. The heart will start erupting in joy by chanting the holy name. How much can we speak? How much can we speak? This has to be experienced by chanting very sincerely. So there is no vrat there is no dhyanam like Harinam. Just to chant the holy name is the greatest dhyanam. Na nama sadrisham phalam. There is no spiritual fruit given in all of the Shastras as much as chanting the holy name. Na nama sadrisho tyago. If you want to give up something, don't give up sweets, don't give up this, nothing. You can have everything. The greatest tyaga is to give up our laziness, to give up all our artificial arguments that, oh, why to chant? Where is the need to chant? How to chant? You see, we have a very nice, I want to read these, this will actually inspire us. Please listen to this very attentively. This is very beautiful. Look at Srila Prabhupada's statements on chanting. This is 14th of May, 1975 in Perth, Australia. Srila Prabhupada is being asked in a morning walk. Srila Prabhupada, how can the position be reconciled if in Krishna consciousness, one of the two, the husband or the wife, wants to enjoy sense gratification, but the other does not? Should there be separation? Prabhupada, no. They should be trained up. Sense enjoyment means not advanced in Krishna consciousness. As soon as one is advancing in Krishna consciousness, his sense enjoyment spirit will be reduced. That is the test. The test is how you're advancing in Krishna consciousness is proportionate diminishing of sense enjoyment. That is the test. Just like cure for the disease means diminishing the temperature. This is the test. Now the devotee is asking, what if that material fever is not getting diminished? What if our sense gratification desire is not reducing? Prabhupada, then you should try to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Instead of 16 rounds, chant 64 rounds. That is the only way. Chanting 16 rounds is the minimum. Otherwise, our ideal is Haridas Thakur. We have to increase. That is the only remedy. If one has got determination, he will make progress without any trouble. That determination is very difficult. I must be fully Krishna conscious. This is called Dhrida Vrataha. Next, San Francisco, 17th December 1967, letter to Indira Mataji and Ekayani Mataji. Prabhupada, I am very glad to learn you are chanting 48 rounds every day. Although it is all right that one should chant 64 rounds, even 16 rounds. So if one is able to chant more than 16 up to 64, it is very good. Please fix up your rounds, try to increase but never decrease them. Letter to Hamsaduta Prabhu. Now another letter, 23rd March 1969. Yes, it is very good if you can chant 64 rounds every day. This is very nice if you can do it. Prabhupada. Letter to Bhakti Jana. Los Angeles, 12th February 1968. I can send all of this to all the devotees who need references of Prabhupada's quotes. I shall advise you again to chant always, increasing the counting. Namely, 16 rounds is generally prescribed, but for the time being, you can stop all your activities and increase your chanting to 64 rounds, especially during lockdown, you see. Srimad Bhagavatam purport, 4th canto, 24th chapter, text 70. That is the instruction given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Sikshashtakam verse 3. Kirtaniya Sadahari. The holy name of Krishna should be chanted 24 hours daily. Prabhupada's quote. Therefore, in our Krishna consciousness movement, we request the devotees to chant at least 16 rounds on their beads daily. Actually, one has to chant 24 hours daily, just like Haridas Thakur, who was chanting Hare Krishna 300,000 times daily. Indeed, he had no other business. Chaitanya Charitamrit, purport, Ante Leela, chapter 3, text 137. In our Krishna conscious, surrender is the ultimate instruction of the Bhagavad Gita. But for one who cannot surrender to the lotus feet, it is better to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra constantly under the instruction of Haridas Thakur. In our Krishna consciousness movement, we are teaching our followers to chant Hare Krishna continuously on the beads. Even those who are not accustomed to this practice are advised to chant at least 16 rounds on their beads. So they must be trained. But Sada means always. Haridas Thakur says Nirantara Namlo, which means chant the holy name, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra without stopping. One's real duty is to surrender to the lotus feet of Krishna. But if one is unable to, he should adopt this process as introduced by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his most confidential servant, Namachari Haridas Thakur. That is the only way to achieve success in Krishna consciousness. Nectar of Devotion class in Vrindavan, 20th of October 1972. Just like we have asked our students to finish 16 rounds chanting minimum, chanting 16 rounds is nothing. In Vrindavan, there are many, many devotees who chant 120 rounds like that. So 16 rounds is the minimum. Because I know in the Western countries, it is difficult job to finish 64 rounds or 120 rounds. Therefore, minimum 16 rounds, that must be finished. Letter to Purushottama, Mumbai, 23rd October 1973. Since it's a letter, some words are missing. So I'm just reading as text missing. Because we have got many duties, text missing. Minimize the amount to 16 rounds. Otherwise, text missing. Minimum is 64. But Western world people cannot, text missing. So 16 rounds must be executed. Nectar of Instruction, verse 5 purport. NOI. The Krishna consciousness movement prescribes 16 rounds daily because people in the Western countries cannot concentrate for long periods while chanting on beads. Therefore, the minimum number of rounds is prescribed. However, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada used to say that unless one chants at least 64 rounds of japa, he is considered fallen. According to his calculation, practically every one of us is fallen. But because we are trying to serve the Lord with all seriousness and without duplicity, we can expect the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. who is famous as Patita Pavan, the deliverer of the fallen. So here is a very interesting thing. Sometimes people take off with in a fanatical way that everybody should chant 64 rounds, etc. That is not the purpose of this discussion. The purpose of this discussion is anyone, even with 16 rounds, will go back home, back to Godhead, because we are under the umbrella of Prabhupada. Prabhupada has guaranteed that with 16 rounds and 4 regulative principles, minimum 16 rounds and 4 regulative principles, and performing other services, we will get the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There is no doubt about it. But the point is, now during a lockdown situation, do we want to do the minimum, or we want to try to increase when all other limbs of bhakti have been taken away? Now we want to focus on that limb which we can completely pump into, because we never know, with Kali Yuga, as it progresses, temples will be broken. You see, in Pakistan yesterday, Hindu temple was broken and so many Hindus were also attacked. Riots are communal riots is such a common thing these days. So temples will be broken in any time in Kali Yuga. Deities will be broken. Books will be burnt. There will be a time when we cannot even preach. Even someone with Kanti and Tilak will be killed. So what limb of bhakti can we perform then? We cannot publicly preach. We cannot have temples. We cannot hold classes. We cannot do distribution of books. We cannot do street sankirtan. The only limb of bhakti that will work at that time is Nam Japa. It is such a wonderful gift that Sriman Mahaprabhu has given. Just put your fingers in and just keep chanting. So when Prabhupada said minimum, should we make Prabhupada's minimum our maximum? That is not the point. You can pass an exam with 40% out of 100 also. But the parents always encourage get 95, 96. So there is a minimum. That threshold is not, we are not here to meet the deadline. We are here to beat the deadline. So that is the spirit. Srila Prabhupada on a morning walk, November 10, 1975 in Bombay. Lokanath Maharaj is speaking to Prabhupada. So Lokanath Maharaj, some devotees have fixed different number than 16. Some are chanting 20 minimum or 25 even. Srila Prabhupada, yes, it should be increased. Lokanath Maharaj, is it recommended for us? Prabhupada, yes, increase but don't decrease. Therefore, one number is fixed. At least this much I shall do. That is 16 rounds. Lokanath Maharaj, but you are recommending 16 as minimum and some devotees are choosing 20 as minimum. Prabhupada, so who forbids? Who says don't do it? Lokanath Maharaj, so they can chant? Prabhupada, yes, that is wanted. But because you cannot do it, therefore we have fixed up minimum. Sankhya, Asankhya. Sankhya means with wow, numerical strength, little number. And Asankhya means there is no limit. We continuously chant. Next reference, the Hare Krishna Explosion, page 63 by Hayagriva Prabhu. Palace Press, 1985. Now you have beads, Swamiji says the next morning. You should chant 64 rounds daily. 64 rounds? To pronounce every word of the mantra distinctly, we require 5 minutes to chant a round, and 64 rounds will take 5 hours. Impossible, we said. We will never be able to chant. Swamiji said, all right, 32 rounds. Impossible, we said. We'll never be able to do it. It's way too much. All right, said Swamiji. 16 rounds, no less. TKG diary, Tamal Krishna Maharaj's diary, June 10th. Many years ago, Srila Prabhupada was chanting 64 rounds daily. But gradually with age and preaching commitment, until a number of years, it was 16. So all these quotes are from Srila Prabhupada, copywritten by the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust International. So we were mentioning, na nama sadrisham tyaga. If you want to give up something, any renunciation, then the best renunciation is to give up the laziness to chant. Na nama sadrisham punyam. There is nothing as pious as chanting the holy name. Na nama sadrishi gati. There is no destination higher than chanting the holy name. Namaiva parama mukti. Chanting Nam brings in the best liberation. Namaiva parama gati. Nam, Harinam gives the best destination. Namaiva parama shanti. Nam, Harinam, chanting Harinam gives most peace. Namaiva parama sthiti. Best consciousness will come up by chanting the holy name. Namaiva parama bhakti. Bhakti will increase by chanting the holy name. Namaiva parama mati. One will become intelligent by chanting the holy name. Namaiva parama priti. Attachment and affection to the devotees, starting with the Supreme Lord, will increase. Namaiva parama smriti. Remembrance of Krishna will increase by chanting the holy name. Namaiva karanam jantuhu. Nam is the reason why we are alive. Namaiva prabhurevacha. Nam is our master. Namaiva paramaradhyo. Nam is the most worshipable. Namaiva Paramo Guru. Nam is our spiritual master. In the Adi Puran, the Supreme Lord continues, Nama Yuktan Janan Drishtva Snigdho Bhavati Yo Naraha Sa Yati Paramam Sthanam Vishnu Na Saha Modate. What does this mean? Nama Yuktan Janan Drishtva. By seeing people who have more taste in Harinam, Snigdho Bhavati Yo Naraha. When the heart melts, seeing the person who's chanting more. Like for example, if we feel very happy seeing a person who has so much Nam Ruchi, then Sa Yati Paramam Sthanam. That person whose heart is melting looking at another person chanting the holy name, that person will achieve the highest Sthanam. Which Sthanam? Vishnu Na Saha Modate. The abode of Vishnu, where he will be with Vishnu happily. Vaikuntha. Then Krishna continues. Tasmat Namani Kaunteya Bhajaswa Drida Manasa. Therefore, Kaunteya, O Arjuna, Tasmat, therefore, Namani Bhajaswa. Do bhajan of Harinam. Just chant. How Drida Manasa, with very determined vow. Which means I will sleep early every night. And every morning I will start chanting it around 3:30. From 3:30 to 7:30 I will sit and chant Harinam, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Initially, when we are chanting, we may chant 8 rounds an hour. Then initially, as we are chanting, gradually our speed will increase. When we are chanting very high number, we don't have to chant very loudly because then our vocal cords will be strained. We can chant softly because early morning there's no disturbance of phone or ringing of the doorbell or no one is talking. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare. Just chanting like that also. When we chant continuously without any distraction, one mantra after another, galloping like a horse, and it's almost like the flow of Yamuna or Ganga is washing the shore of our heart with all the contamination is gone. One mantra after another. It's possible. 8 rounds an hour can become 10 rounds, even 12 rounds an hour. So if we chant from 3:30 to 7:30 in the morning, imagine 4 hours, we can chant 50 rounds very easily without any distraction. Continuously we are chanting. Speed increases naturally. We don't have to run behind increasing the speed, Prabhupada explains. We should chant sincerely. In front of Krishna, we bathe and we sit. We sleep early, we sit there and we are chanting. By 7:30 in the morning, 50 rounds are done. What is the difficulty? We have all day to do our work, our office work, and we can later chant our Gayatri, we can have breakfast, we can work till 5 o'clock, then we have time with our kids also. Everything falls in place if we have priority. But we waste a lot of time. We are unnecessarily talking to people things which are not making any sense. Oh, what is going on? How is this? How is that? If we are talking that to make that person Krishna conscious or to add them in our preaching program, then there is no problem. Because not everyone will start with Krishna conscious talks. We have to somehow connect with them. But most of the times that's not our intention. We are just gossiping, we are criticizing, we are reading, we are browsing on the internet, we are watching videos which are unnecessary, we are sharing things which are unnecessary on WhatsApp and wasting our time. This WhatsApp and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter will not help us. We have to invest time in those limbs of bhakti who are there for us and reject things which are unnecessary. Anukulya se sankalpa and pratikulya se varjana. So by Drida Vrata, by Drida Manasa, this is what Krishna is saying. Tasmat Namani Kaunteya, therefore Kaunteya, Arjuna, these names, Bhajaswa, worship them, chant them, Drida Manasa, make a schedule and stick up to them. And Nama Yukta Priyaha Asmakam, those who are giving their time to Harinam are very, very dear to me, Krishna is saying. Nama Yukta Bhava Arjuna. Therefore, O Arjuna, become Nama Yukta. Prioritize Harinam. So in this way, when we do this, this is the meaning of Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Harer Nam Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nasti Eva, Nasti Eva, Nasti Eva Gatiranyita. 8 times Mahaprabhu has said. Sometimes we say 3 times, but actually 8 times. How? Harer Nam, only Harinam. Harer Nam, only Harinam. Harer Nam, only Harinam. Eva, Eva means only. And Kevalam also means only. Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Eva, Kevalam. 5 times. Nam, 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 Nam. And then Nasti Eva, Na Asti Eva, Na Asti Eva. There is nothing else, nothing else, nothing else. So Harinam, 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 Eva, only Harinam, Kevalam, only Harinam, nothing else, which means only Harinam, nothing else, which means only Harinam. Nasti Eva, Nasti Eva, Nasti Eva, Gatiranyata, which means 8 times in the same verse, Sriman Mahaprabhu has said, just give yourself to chanting the holy name. Therefore, when Mahaprabhu was asked, what is the advice for grihasthas? Sriman Mahaprabhu said, Prabhu kahe Vaishnav seva nama sankirtan dui karo shigra pabe Shri Krishna charan. Just chant the holy name continuously and worship the Vaishnavas without criticizing them. In this way, very quickly you will get Krishna's lotus feet. The prostitute was uplifted by Haridas Thakur with these two instructions. Just worship Tulsi, serve the Vaishnavas, and chant the holy name continuously. You will get the lotus feet of Krishna very quickly. Jagai and Madhai, when they were uplifted, they were given the same instruction by Gaur Nitai, that serve the Vaishnavas by making a bathing ghat in the Ganga. Don't criticize them. Serve them and continuously chant the holy name. Jagai Madai started chanting 120 rounds every day. The prostitutes started chanting 192 rounds every day. And you see, Jagai Madai were no longer called, they were no longer called dacoits. After a few months, the whole village was calling them brahmachari. In what way were they brahmachari? They were giving brahmaya acharati iti. They were giving their life to Harinam. And also, in what way was the prostitute glorious? After a few months, the whole village called her Haridasi, the feminine servant of Sri Hari, because Harinam Dasi, she is continuously chanting. So, dear devotees, Matajis and Prabhujis, you have given 1 hour of your time from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock in Balram Desh. I am trying my best to share what seems to me as the essence of Shastra, and it is with complete conviction and with complete sincere, genuine effort that I am trying to put across this point. I don't know how many devotees are there on this call. About 300 devotees are there on this call. Out of these 300 devotees, even if about 10 devotees start chanting 64 rounds every day, or start chanting more, this 1 hour becomes glorious. It is like the best investment. So during this period of lockdown, we don't know, uncertainty is there. We are all just sitting between the four walls looking at each other's faces. Let's invest. Atmanam sarvato rakshet. Let us protect our soul so that we don't have to take another birth again. So I'm holding all of your feet and begging that this is the sum and substance of all the Shastra, whether it is Vaman Puran, Vayu Puran, Matsya Puran, Narada Puran, and so many other literatures, especially even the Upanishads, Kali Santarana Upanishad, Brihad Naradi Upanishad. So many Upanishads are also giving their verdict that Narayana Nama Naro Naranam Prasiddha Chaura Kathita Prativyam Aneka Janmar Jita Papa Sancharam Haratya Shesham Shruti Matrameva. That the name of Narayana, just by hearing and chanting, is such a great thief. He will take away all the sins that we have accumulated over lifetimes. Therefore, Etavan Sankha Yogabhyam Swadharma Parinishtaya Janmalabha Parapumsam Ante Narayana Smritihi. Just remember Narayana, so that at the time of death, there is chance that we will remember Krishna. Apart from Harinam, we have no one. Apart from the Guru who has given us Harinam, we have no one. These are the two realities we have. Bhagavatam, deities, Krishna, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all far-fetched reality for us. Our closest saviors are Sri Guru and Harinam. If these two we can put in our heart, the instructions of Sri Guru and continuous chanting of the holy name, then it is very simple to attain Krishna. We have to just make sure that we don't criticize anybody. We don't waste our time, because we are chanting Harinam and cleansing our heart. But now by criticizing, the heart is going to get polluted. So we have to make sure that we fence our field and then, throw in all the seeds and nicely cultivate. Our heart will be cultivated by hearing about Krishna from Sri Guru and chanting the holy name and serving the Vaishnavas, and the fence of no criticism to anyone. If some changes have to be made, let our superiors make. We are not here employed to make changes in everybody's life. Prabhu, you should do this. Mataji, you should not do this. You should do this. Who has given us this authority? Let our counselors do. Let our superiors do. Let our mentors do. All the leaders in our community, let them do that service. It is not my headache who is doing what. My headache is to maintain myself. When Sri Hanumanji came to Ashok Vatika in the Sundarkand of the Ramayana, Mother Sita was looking down. Her eyes were looking at her feet, and in her heart, she was remembering the lotus feet of Ram. So what does that mean? She was looking at her feet. One meaning, because a devotee has high culture, doesn't look into the eye of another man, like Mother Sita was not looking into the eye of Hanuma. But looking at one's own feet means to mind one's own business. I don't care about who's doing what, especially who's doing what wrong. Unless they come and ask me, Prabhu, what do you think? Is it wrong? If they ask me, then it is my duty to serve. But otherwise, it is not my headache. It is between their superior and Krishna. They will take care. Now I go and interfere and they have some ego clash. Who are you to tell me? What does he think of himself? He's coming and telling me. Then there is rift. Then we waste our time clarifying. Then they tell someone else this happened. We tell someone else. Then they hear half story. We don't have time so much. Indra Prabhu used to say, he said this, she said this, they said this. Ultimately, who knows who said what? Life is too short for all of this. Therefore, Ashcharyam etadhi manushya loke Sudham parityajya visham pibanti namani narayana gocharani tyaktva anyavartha kuhaka patanti. In the Mukundamala Stotra, King Kulashekar Alvar is saying, give up the drainage water of criticism and accept the Ganga water of Harina. Having said this, I want to offer my obeisances to all the devotees. Thank you for giving your valuable time. Please, before you go to sleep tonight, take your beat back, chant 2-3 rounds before you go to sleep, so that you wake up fresh tomorrow and continuously chant. And if you think this inspired you to chant more, please don't forget to offer some blessings and prayer. This is the reciprocation. I am not begging for anything else. If everybody increases their chanting, that will be the best blessing that you can give me for this class. I pause here. We had discussion for 75 minutes. If there are any questions, or any discussions, we have about 15 minutes we can spend
time. Krishna Prabhuji, should we ask devotees to type on the chat questions, so they can ask?
Sure.
Directly?
What we can do is, Prabhu, if possible, one devotee volunteer. So
okay.
Everybody can, whoever has questions, they can type it onto the chat window. But one devotee can volunteer to read them out to me in order, because I will not know otherwise. So if possible, if you make sure that if the questions are not repetitive, etc. So one devotee can help in that way, and others can, if there are any comments. For 15 minutes we can, and later after that I have some other commitment. So 15 minutes.
Sure, definitely, Prabhuji. So devotees can type, and then probably I will coordinate now. So very well. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So the first question is that, can you please explain the real meaning of Hare Krishna Mahamantra?
Our Hare Krishna Mahamantra has been explained by many devotees in different ways. Actually, this may go to 15 minutes. This question answering may go to 15 minutes, but I'll try to keep it very concise. Our Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given a meaning. Gopal Guru Goswami has given a meaning. Srila Jiva Goswami has given a meaning. Our Prabhupada has given a meaning. And apart from that, there are other meanings also. So devotees can type Gopal Guru Goswami's interpretation of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It is very beautiful. Where Hare means something, Krishna means something, then Hare means something, then Krishna means something, then Krishna means something, then Krishna means something, then Hare. So that discussion will take more time. So therefore, I'm just requesting, you can just type Gopal Guru Goswami, interpretation of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Very beautiful. You can find it. Or if devotees want, I can send it to one of the devotees, and then devotees can take it from there. That is one. Now, apart from that, we have Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. If we chant the Mahamantra in the mood that I want to enter, or I want to get the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then you can chant the Hare. You're chanting all of the time, all through we are chanting Hare Krishna through the tongue. But I'm talking about the meditation that the mind should be. We are not chanting anything else. We are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But the meditation is what we're discussing. If we want to get the mercy of Sriman Mahaprabhu, we want to remember Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then the Hare can refer to Hari. Which Hari? Gaura Hari. So every time we say Hare, we can remember, Hey Gaura Hari, Oh Gaura Hare, Oh Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then when we say Krishna, who is the Krishna? Oh, the Krishna is Krishna Chaitanya. Sriman Mahaprabhu. And then when we say Rama, who is Ram? That is Nityananda Ram. So you see the first whole line represents Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the second line, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare, is almost like Gaur Nitai, Nita Nitai, Gaur Gaur. So if we want to remember Gaur Nitai, then we can chant in this mood. We are chanting, but the mind is thinking of Chaitanya Nityananda. Or we can think whole Mahamantra in terms of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How? Hare represents Gaura Hari, Krishna represents Krishna Chaitanya, and Ram. Ram here refers to Radharaman. And we know Gopal Bhatta Goswami's story. Gopal Bhatta Goswami's parents told him that you should worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Gopal Bhatta Goswami was worshipping Radharaman. So one day he felt very guilty that, oh, my parents told me to worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and I'm worshipping Radharaman. So Radharaman manifested a form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, you don't worry, Radharaman and Chaitanya are not different. Therefore, that Ram, which refers to Radharaman, also refers to Gauranga. So the whole mantra, all 16 words becomes Gaura. So we are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But mind is thinking of the form of Sriman Mahaprabhu. This is one way. Another way to chant in the mood of Vrindavan pastimes. The word Rama can refer to Balaram. So when we are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, that line is a meditation towards Krishna. And then the word Rama refers to Balaram. So if you want, you like the Sakya pastimes of Krishna, because this Harinam is Chintamani. Chintamani means touchstone. The way you like, this Mahamantra will take you there. Just like you first decide where you want to go and then you take a flight ticket accordingly. Not that you just take any flight ticket and you go wherever you want. It doesn't happen. First, you have to decide the destination. So if someone likes the friendly pastimes, Sakya pastimes of Krishna, then the Hare, the energy there, can represent Subal, the friend of Krishna and Balaram. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, we are chanting. But the mind is thinking of Subal, the friend of Krishna. Subal Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Subal. Second line, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That Ram refers to Balaram. And Hare there represents Subal or Mandali Bhadra, Madhumangal, the friends of Krishna. Second line becomes Subal, Balaram, Balaram, Subal. So we are chanting Hare Krishna, but in the mind we are absorbing how Krishna is standing in Vrindavan ISKCON temple with a flute in one hand and hand on his waist. And Balaram is keeping his hand on the shoulder of Krishna and he's holding a plow or a club in his hand. And he has so many friends and cows. We can meditate like that and we are chanting. But if someone likes baby form of Krishna and Balaram, then the Hare, the energy represents Mother Yashoda and Rohini. So that Hare, the Krishna becomes Krishna, Rama refers to Balaram, but Hare refers to the energy, who can be Yashoda or Rohini. So although we are chanting Hare Krishna through the tongue, in the mind we are thinking Yashoda, Krishna, Krishna, Yashoda, Rohini, Balaram, Balaram, Rohini. We are thinking of babies, Krishna and Balaram sitting on the lap of Mother Yashoda, Nanda Baba, Rohini. And we are chanting very blissfully. All the pastimes that we have heard and all the books that we have read, when mind is going here, there, everywhere. So we should try to remember the Supreme Lord and chant very lovingly. Oh, when will that day come? That those two babies, Krishna and Balaram, will sit on my lap and I will have the fortune of giving them a bath and combing their hair and giving them some food, and they will keep jumping on my lap. And I will hold their hand and I will tell them, just like you left Yashoda and Nanda Baba and you went out of Vrindavan and you went to Mathura, I hope you will not leave me. When will that day come? And in this hankering, oh, when can I see Krishna and Balaram? Like that. But then if somebody has a very nice affection towards Radha and Krishna, then Hare represents Radharani. Then Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare is like Radhe Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Radhe Radhe. Then that Ram in the second line is Radharaman, Krishna. So whether it is Hare Krishna or Hare Ram, the whole mantra is actually Radha and Krishna. So in this way, there are so many beautiful meanings, but we can remember. And Srila Prabhupada made it very, very simple and made it very palatable, just like babies, the mother gives Cerelac so that the baby can digest all the nutrients easily. So Prabhupada has given all the meanings of Mahamantra in one simple line. While chanting, we should always think, O Shri Guru, O Shri Gauranga, O Shri Radha and Krishna, you make me dance the way you want me to dance. In this human life, Whatever best service you want to ooze out and extract and accept from me, you make me do those services which you want me to perform. Let me not do any service because of my egoistic mentality. Let me do the service that you want me to perform. Please engage me in your service. Let not a day pass when I am not giving pleasure to you. Oh Guru, oh Srila Prabhupada, oh Sriman Mahaprabhu, whenever you remember my name, if you can get a smile saying that, yes, this boy, this girl, this Mataji, this Prabhuji is sincerely trying, oh, then my life is successful. This is why I'm chanting. With this sincerity we chant, we can see within few weeks and months, we can have reciprocation. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he actually mentions that if one chants offenselessly and continuously, 24 hours a day without offenses, sincerely crying and weeping, in 3 months we can get Krishna. That's simple. Simple for the simple. Hare Krishna. We can have another question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So second question is how to control distractions and avoid offenses during chanting.
So distractions will come. We don't have to worry. In fact, our Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, there is a quote. Let me see if I can pull that quote. See, I'm reading this straight, so we don't have to worry. One should never lose hope in spite of being attacked by wicked thoughts while chanting the holy name. All these thoughts will gradually disappear as one becomes fixed in chanting. But if one does not chant with enthusiasm, how will such materialistic thoughts disappear? Best way to overcome these distractions is to associate with advanced devotees who have taste in chanting and to chant the holy name of Krishna. The devotee's advancement can be measured by how much he is attracted to Harina. The end of all study and knowledge is the chanting of Krishna's holy names. Devotion to Krishna means faithfully and continuously chanting his holy name. One who chants the holy name continuously will be able to guard against all offenses without any distraction and will quickly attain Krishna Prem. So that makes it very clear.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Another question is from a boy who's studying in school, college. So he's saying that, Prabhuji, how do I balance between my studies, my chanting, and reading scriptures all together, all of them? So how do I balance it?
We need discipline. We need discipline in our life. I personally like to state this example that one senior devotee, I asked him the same question and he gave me a very wonderful formula. It is called as Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan formula. JBSS formula. What does that mean? J refers to Japa. B means Baladev. So Baladev refers to hearing from our spiritual master, because our spiritual master represents Baladev. So hearing the class of our spiritual master every day. But Bala also refers to exercise. We must exercise also every day. S from Subhadra refers to little Sankirtan every day. But most importantly, academic Swadhyay, to study our academic books. It is very, very important. And then the last S is some physical service at home to help our parents. If we remember this and we try to have a board where we can put a tick, then every day we can think, oh, what all I have finished. J, have I finished my japa? Have I finished my Gayatri for devotees? J also can mean Jala, which means Charanamrit. Am I drinking Charanamrit every day? Daily we should have little Charanamrit also. So J has two meanings, Japa and Gayatri, and J also means Jalam, Charanamrit. Similarly, B has two meanings. One is hearing the class of our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, etc. And B also means exercise. Every day we should exercise. Then S has two meanings. We should do little Sankirtan and we should have studying of our academic scriptures or our professional work life, or for those who are brahmacharis or others also, we can have little Shastrik Swadhyay also. And then the S that we have at the end is some menial service at home. Sometimes the effort, all of that comes on the mothers, and they have to now cook also, clean also, cut also, etc. So if the boys at home, the girls at home, they can help in cleaning the trash, in washing the pots and vessels, and cutting and giving it for the mother. In that way, we can help our parents. So in this way, if we put it on a chart and see how many ticks we are getting every day, daily, within a week, we will be on track with proper regularity. We don't know what to do and how to do, therefore we are having a problem. But with this JBSS formula, we can get ticks every day. And in this way, we can make sure, we can monitor what we are doing every day. Hare Krishna. We can take one last.
Yeah. So, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is question is that in the temple, when there is a 1 hour program, so how do you actually distribute between philosophy and Harinam Sankirtan? In terms of
I will leave that to be answered by the local leaders, because it varies from place to place. Since I don't have a management very specifically a management role in the area, I may not be able to say. And it varies from different leaders, and they're all properly justified according to the quality of the devotees in that area. There are some places where devotees naturally are attracted to more kirtan than philosophy. But we must know for sure, without philosophy, kirtan will only be entertainment. This is for sure. If we don't understand the essence of chanting, if we don't understand why we are chanting, how we should chant, what has been said about chanting, we can chant for some time to impress an audience, or because we like music, or we like to show off on our mridanga or our harmonium skills or singing ragas, etc., which is all perfect. But they're all like zeros. But the one is the philosophical understanding, why to chant, how to chant. We have to have sambandha gyan, which means we must understand where I am situated, with what intensity I must call out. Somebody fallen in a well, he will always say, please let me, hey, please someone help me. If he's saying, but if there is someone there, please, if you feel like you can help, otherwise I'm good, there's no problem. Both are calling out. But the second call, nobody will take seriously. First call, they will take seriously. So sambandha gyan must be there. Manasija fani jushte, labdhapatosmi dushte, timira gahana rupe, hanta sansara kupe, ajita nikhila raksham, hetum uddhara daksham, upanaya mama haste, bhaktirajum namaste. Rupa Goswami is saying, I'm fallen in a well, my Lord. Please put the rope of your Harinam mercy and let me come out. So when we have that desperation, sambandha, then abhideya, how should I chant? What kind of devotee should I associate with? What are the thoughts I should have while chanting? And prayojan, what am I trying to gain out of my chanting? What am I begging Krishna? So without understanding that, chanting, definitely it's useful and it is very, very powerful. But philosophy is what completes Harinam. But having said that, how to split Harinam Sankirtan time and the philosophy, I will let the leaders of the area answer that.
Hare Krishna,
I think
Prabhuji.
we have one last minute, so we can still take one question.
Okay. So this is basically asking that should we read 10 offenses of chanting before chanting? Will it help?
Yeah, Prabhupada actually instituted to read the 10 offenses. But what will actually help more than reading is to understanding, to properly understand what the 10 offenses are in depth from a senior devotee who knows them. We should sit at the feet of a senior devotee and ask them, Prabhu, what are these 10 offenses? What are the different aspects of these 10 offenses? Performing what activity causes the offenses? And what are the defenses that I can employ so that I don't offend the holy name in this way? So when we are chanting every morning, it is to remind ourselves that today I must not commit them. But without spending enough time in understanding them and sitting with a great devotee and making a plan, oh, this is what I'm doing. So therefore, this is considered under the 6th offense. So therefore, I must cultivate that I don't do it anymore, like that. So we must employ 10 defenses to the 10 offenses. This is all there. You can read books like The Nectarian Ocean of the Holy Name by Shachinandan Maharaj, Nectarian Ocean of the Holy Name. We can read The Art of Chanting Hare Krishna by Mahanidhi Swami Maharaj. And there are many other books also. So by reading, there is another book called On Chanting Hare Krishna. Then there are books on the holy name called as Namamrita, which is a compilation of Prabhupada's quotes. But very specifically, if we want to know more about the 10 offenses, we should read The Nectarian Ocean of the Holy Name by Sachinandan Maharaj and Art of Chanting Hare Krishna by Mahanidhi Maharaj. Then reading, discussing with senior devotees, employing these are the ways I'm committing those offenses, and then making sure I will never commit them again. Sincerely praying to Krishna. Then when we chant them every morning, we exactly know, today I should not. It's a reminder call actually. But otherwise, if we don't do that analysis, we are like a parrot saying, the blaspheming devotee dedicated life propagating all in the norm. To to consider the name of Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. 3, to disobey the order of the spiritual master. 4, to blaspheme the Vedic literature of Vedic intention persons of the Vedic version. 5, to disobey, we are going like this, but where is the time to pause and do mananam, to contemplate that, wait a minute, how am I committing that and how I should not commit them? So this needs some Tachrunvan supathan vicharana paro. There must be vicharanam. There must be pondering. Then bhaktya vimuchen naraha. Bhakti will rise and one will make advancement. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Prabhuji, now I'll request His Grace Sumudra Chaitanya Prabhu, our ex-temple president, to express the vote of thanks.
Hare Krishna. Just give me a minute. There's little darkness here. Yes, please.
Yes, Prabhu. Sumudra Prabhu, you are there?
It's better.
Yes.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna from ISKCON Balram Desh devotees. We thank you again for accepting our request and sharing your valuable time and also in-depth knowledge about chanting the holy name. A particular note which I made personally was that chanting the holy name is not only for our own benefit, also it's a gratitude. It's a gratitude to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And also during the class you mentioned that if we have anything to give you, that we should increase our chanting the holy name. So these instructions definitely we will be taking to our heart, and I'm sure not only me, all those who heard today's class was very much inspired, not impressed only, but very much inspired to increase their chanting the holy name, become more serious in spiritual life, and definitely this class will remain in our heart and we'll remember it again and again. Prabhuji, thank you very much, and we look forward to hear from you very near future on behalf of ISKCON Bharat. And also we thank all the devotees who are in class.
Very
Thank you so
grateful,
much,
Prabhuji, for your kind words. I don't know what to say. You are so senior, not just materially, even spiritually. I am like a sparrow and I'm trying to flap my wings, but all the Garuda-like great devotees are present in the assembly. So please kindly forgive me if I said something wrong. My only intention, my only purpose was to share some insight on the holy name. I'm feeling extremely happy that you will pray for me, you will bless me, and along with all the devotees in the community, everybody will take up to the process of chanting. There is no higher reciprocation than that. I'm very grateful. Hare Krishna.
Hare. Definitely we will offer praise, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you very
Krishna.
much.
Thank you. Balavan Prabhuji, thank you, Prabhuji, for arranging this class.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you. We'll see him. We'll see him again on Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock.
Haribol, very nice. No, it was very wonderful. We had, and personally, I had other realizations which I cannot share in the openly, but it was really nice. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Dandavad.
Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. Dandavad.
Dandavad.
Thank you very much. I'm going to end the meeting now. Hari Bol. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Vamshi Prabhu, can you end the meeting?
अच्छा वो मैंने इसका सुना क्लास आज मैं आज नहीं सुन